Okay. All right. So I used to think that immediately responding to every text message, every email was like a little habit that, like one of those successful habits or habits of a successful person. But what I realized when I slowed down was that it really was a survival strategy or tactical technique. It was my way of making sure, again, remember when you're in that strong black woman trap, almost honestly, mark my words for it, almost 90% of what you're doing is fueled by the energy of proving and performing and wearing a mask. So it was really just it was really a survival tactic or strategy. It was my way of ensuring that nobody would ever say she was late to do something or that I was behind the ball professionally. But even personally, I would do it immediately before they probably even hit send. I was ready. Again, even though it wasn't about missing deadlines in a personal setting, it was still maintaining that image, that professional look, that polite image that I was so ingrained, or that was so ingrained in me, making sure that everyone thought I was good, polite, on time, attend, whatever it is, right? But it was a survival strategy, tactic under the strong woman trap that my whole life was predicated or built on. Because that's the thing. So many of our little habits aren't harmless, even the ones that are productive and positive. I've learned that many of them are not harmless in the sense that they're actually signs of the strong black woman trap. And for me, mine was answering everything, responding every time, right away. I wouldn't even give myself time to process. As soon as it came, whatever it was, it could be happy birthday. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for thinking about me. It could be let's do something. Oh yes, yes, please. Of course, that's the personal, the professionally. Oh, I'll be on it. Like even if I didn't do anything about it in the moment, but I immediately felt the need. It was like it doesn't matter what was happening. I could jump out of the shower to respond. Yes, yes. I just felt the need to, that I needed to acknowledge it, and acknowledging it in such a timely manner was me being professional, or me being polite, and me being in control and on top of it and available and all that stuff. But the truth is, it was just one more way for me to have control, or at least the illusion of control, because we don't really have control. We just like to think we do. Anyway, it was me proving I was reliable, responsible, perfect, life in control, had everything going the way I wanted to do. Because I did not want no one to ever think that I was slipping or I wasn't on point. And that's how that's why it's very sneaky. That's how that strong black woman trap works. That's the way it sneakily just has you doing all these things that on the surface, for the most part, are things that look good to us. It convinces us that these habits are admirable, um, but they're not. They're just really survival strategies that keep us in the performance mode, keep us always doing, and less being. And so maybe for you, it looks different. Maybe you can't go to bed until the house is spotless. Again, remember I mentioned that a lot of them are things that we are rewarded for, the things that make us look externally good, you know. So maybe you can't go to bed, and I'm not saying cleaning the house is not a good thing, or that you should leave dirty stuff all around to go to bed, but you'll notice when it's something that's like almost like an obsessive compulsion. Like I cannot go to bed unless the house is spotless. And spotless doesn't even mean clean dishes. It means dusting, cleaning down books that you haven't touched in 5 years, like spotless. Or maybe you never let your calls go into voicemail. Subtle but very, very telling. Immediately you rush. It's those things that just keep us in performance, doing mode, that are almost automated and ingrained into our nervous systems. Maybe you triple check your work long after everyone has signed off. You're still dotting every single I, crossing every single T. You're correcting things that don't really matter at the end of the day. Like you're so hyper focused, hyper functioning all the time. And because it looks responsible on the outside, admirable, it's not, doesn't bring any red flags to you or anyone else. You keep doing it. But on the inside, it's exhausting, it's draining, it's stifling you. Um, it's a trap. It's a trap. So here's what I learned: that not every habit is aligned with us, or it's aligned, period, right? Some habits are survival, some are the ones that are for aligned are habits that bring us back to us. They're not counter, if you know what I mean. And again, these habits, the high performance trap habits, are very subtle. So a lot of the time, I'll venture to say 100% of the time, they're things that help us to be productive and help us to be responsible, and they're good things on the surface. The only issue is that they are not aligned, because there's this added layer of, if I don't do this, I don't feel whole. They're performative in nature. We're doing them because there's a certain nervous system thing that we get, that we don't feel like we're complete, or whole, or worthy, or valuable, unless we do them. And this is the danger that lies therein. So those types of habits are typically not aligned, whereas aligned habits are bringing you back to yourself. So they're not reactive in nature for the most part. You give you this pausing time. So for example, I'll use a text, responding to a text immediately. An aligned habit, if that were an aligned habit, I would not jump out of the shower to respond. You know what I mean? It would be at a time, in a place, setting that flows. So I hope this gives you an example of what I mean. There's survival habits that keep you proving, because I didn't want time to lapse, so I quickly responded, and that's a way of proving. Whereas if it was if it was aligned, it would be whenever, right? Because I'm not trying to be perfect, or be, have that mask on all the time. So the old me is answering immediately, or used to answer immediately. Didn't matter where I was or what was happening. I wanted to be good, perceived as good, polite, responsible, in control, on top. The new me, I pause to respond when I'm ready. And that's the alignment piece I'm talking about. Or guess what? I don't even respond. That's a response too. I don't feel the need to respond in some instances. I don't say anything. Or if I do, I do it when it feels organic, it feels it's in flow for me. So I'm going to ask you, because I love that I can ask questions and get responses. When you watch this video, drop it in the chat. What's one little habit you have that might actually be a survival strategy, that's nicely disguised in the Prada shoes as a habit, but it's actually a survival strategy? I would love to hear. Because I'll tell you this: if you're still trying to figure out because it's very subtle, which habit is aligned or which is a survival strategy, slowing down and noticing will help you to tell the difference. And again, it's not every habit that's necessarily a survival strategy or a part of the strong black woman hook, but more often than not, many of them are. And the point of bringing awareness is so that you can expose them for what they are, as opposed to just thinking that they're things that you're doing because you're supposed to do them. So if the desire to do them is still there, but the awareness that you're doing it from a more aligned, more flow state is there, then my work in this video is done. So I hope that makes sense. So I haven't stopped responding text messages or emails. I still do, but I don't do them immediately unless it's something that requires an immediate response. I hope that makes sense. So slowing down will help you to um, tell the difference, whether it's a line or whether it's a survival tactic. And then you can ask yourself, does this habit restore me? So jumping out of the shower to respond was not restorative. Or does it just keep me in control, which is what it was when I would do that, or even answer in the shower. I'm sticking to that one example. And that's the line between alignment and the strong black woman trap. Ask yourself, what's one habit that you thought was small, that was innocent, that was just something that served you in the way that it was supposed to serve you, but might actually be about proving yourself in some way, shape, or form. And let me know, comment in the chat. I would love to know, because it's a trap, and until we're free from performing, free from pretending, free from wearing that mask, we will never have true freedom. We'll always still be in debt to performing and to the opinion of others. Because really, at the core of this, it's about proving to others so that you feel worthy. Because your worthiness is attached to your over functioning and your over performing. And this one little hack, just noticing how you're doing, how the things that you're so that have been so ingrained in you, how you're doing them, is very it will be enlightening and shed some perspective and some light on this. So I'm going to ask you, if you were ready to go deeper than just unpacking habits and determining whether they're part of the strong woman trap or whether they're an alignment. If you're tired of performing, tired of pretending, really want to have friendships, relationships that are authentic to you, where you're being yourself, where people in your life know you for who you are and not what you do. And you would just like to learn about Embody, comment ready, and I'll share the link with you, or I'll put the link so that you can check it out just to see, so that if it's something that's in alignment with you, you can go ahead and get in on it. Or if you just want that simple, quicker way of getting momentum towards unhooking from the, maybe it is an unhingement on the strong black woman trap, you can use the link below to get the High Achievers Guide. It's 3 simple, potent shifts that will help you to move towards being your authentic self. We want to show up authentically. My last video, I think, was about Cardi B and how she inspired me to get out of that trap, because she's someone who unequivocally is herself wherever she is. And that ability, that whatever it is, strength, is what will give us utter, complete freedom and fulfillment in life. All right, so I'll see you in the next video.